A MuchMore Motormaster info repair. These are very nice because they do brushed motors, and there aren't many brushed motor testers etc. around. When we plug this one in, we get out of order call for service. After we've got the instructions, it says out of order call for service. Means the FET is dead. You send for repair. If it says it's a FET, it should be fairly straightforward. I can see the heatsink and everything inside, so we'll take it apart and hopefully be able to fix it. 4 small screws, and ease this connector out of there, and you can lift the case away, and inside there are a row of power FETs here, and I can see this one here, it's got a crack right through it. 3 screws hold the circuit board in, and you can ease it up, and then there's 2 screws holding the heatsink on. 2 screws, heatsink comes off, and the clamping bar on the front. You always see on the clamping bar how black that is. That was on that FET on the end, so that's another telltale sign. I can also see some solder, which is always a telltale sign, pushed up between the plastic and metal part of this FET here. That always means that it's overheated and burnt out. Those little solder blobs, sometimes it cracks open, you can see a gap, but a solder forced out, that doesn't look good. This one, you can't see what's written on it, but I think these are in pairs. This one, I can just read the number. I think it says IRF 4905. After removing the first of the blown FETs, the one that's completely burnt out, I did manage to read the number on it. It's actually the IRFZ44N, which is an N channel rated at 55 volts, about 49 amps. And the other one, which is burnt out, that one there I haven't taken out yet, is actually a P channel, also rated at 55 volts and about 42 amps. Complementary, really. You could use ones that are more powerful than this. They've just chosen these, probably fairly cheap, to do the job. Order this one, I didn't have one, and in fact the latest versions of a higher current rating, I've got plenty of N channel ones. 55 volts, pretty high voltage. I don't know why they've selected such a high voltage, but the other 2, they test fine. 2 FETs to replace. I'm going to use this regular one I already have, the N channel 55 volt, 110 amps, and the replacement one, the P channel from far now, minus 55 volts, 74 amps. The spec is much higher now than the original. Higher amps, no problem. Will handle short circuits and hopefully won't blow anymore. 2 FETs fixed back and the heatsink replaced. Just got to connect up the display, and well, let's see if it works. Put about 12 volts in and turn on. Okay, it's come up with all the correct things. So everything seems to be working. Quick test to make sure it's working. Got an old Demon motor, brush motor. I put the RPM sensor on the end, which is a little rotating silver and black reflective part. Hold, goes in the side, hold the motor. 3.2 volts is enough. According to this, that is volts, amps, revs, 12,780. So it's working. And stop. I think that's fine.